Hey guys, Stephanie with Simarchy, and welcome to the Holiday House Speed Build. Now this house is perfect for your Sims for Christmas or any of the other holidays that you celebrate around this time of year. Now of course we all got a bunch of free holiday items from the pack that was given to us through the latest update, so of course I figured they would be perfect to use for this house. I actually built this house probably a few weeks back by the request of one of my friends in my Simmers group that I'm in on Facebook, and she sent me, well, she actually posted a photo of this beautiful house, which I'll show at the very end of the video, in one of the groups that we're in, and I volunteered to recreate it in The Sims. And you guys know I mostly build in The Sims 3, but she wanted this one in The Sims 4. So the hardest thing I had trouble with was the roof, and as you could tell, the house is like octagonal shaped. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. That went too fast. Is that 8? I don't know. Hexagon maybe. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I can't count. Sorry. Don't mind me. It's either hexagonal or octagonal shaped. It almost looks like a birthday cake tier. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Okay. I finally was able to count it. It's octagonal, an octagonal house. And I don't know if there's an option for an octagonal roof. I feel like there should be. If there is, I had no idea how to find it. So I just decided to make my own. And I don't know. It came out kind of cool, I guess. It almost looks like a star. In the photo, though, like the roofs had like a little lip over, like it hung over the side of the wall a bit, and I couldn't really get it to do that. So, I mean, I tried. Parts of it might. I don't know. It was a mess. The roof was a hot mess, but I'm as pleased as I can be with the outcome, which you'll see in a little bit, because as you can tell, it was really difficult for me. Oh my goodness. Very, very hard. In retrospect, I would have made this house a little bit bigger, so I guess it's tiny, technically a tiny house. It's small. It's pretty small. It is 3 stories, but if I had to squeeze everything into one floor, it wouldn't have happened. I mean, you might have had like a bed, a toilet, and a couch. I don't I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit over dramatic, but it was hard to furnish because of the wall shape. It's very hard to furnish on an angled wall, but I'm very pleased with the outcome, which you'll see not too long from now. This is only, what is it, right under 20 minutes. It's under a 20-minute video. So, I mean, I guess that's still pretty long. It's not as long as it can be. Sometimes mine can get into the 30 or 40-minute range with my speed builds. So I try to really condense them so you don't have to sit through a super long video. 20 minutes is plenty, especially for this tiny house. And honestly, most of it was that dang roof. Like that roof, that roof was the hardest part. And I placed a chimney there because it was in the photo too. Pretty much everything I'm doing at this beginning part until I start furnishing is just trying to duplicate it exactly from the photo. And maybe I'll throw one up right here just for a couple seconds so you can see it, but I'll do like a real screenshot comparison at the end. And it has a wraparound porch, and that part was a little bit difficult for me to figure out as well. I'm sure I made this way harder on myself than it really needed to be, but I did eventually figure it out. I am like just convinced that my way of building is completely backwards and wrong, but as long as I get it done, as long as I have the outcome that I want, I'm happy with that. But I'm sure you guys that are more experienced builders are looking at this going, what were you doing? Like, you could have done this and that in 2 steps to have like the perfect roof and the perfect porch without having to go through all this crazy, I don't know what I did, but hey, that's how I learn. Like, I don't know. I know you should ask questions when you're learning, but sometimes I just like to just clickety click on things until I figure it out. And I'm very much that way with building. I did watch a lot of tutorials. Well, not even tutorials, but I guess speed builds and some tutorials when I first started playing The Sims, and honestly most of those were James from The Sim Supply or Deligracy's videos. So I don't know, I guess I have a decent background in building, but for the most part I just kind of wing it, especially when I'm trying to recreate something from a photo, which I don't want to say very frequently, but pretty frequently. I do like to recreate stuff from photos, whether it's a house that someone requested or just looking something up from inspiration, or looking at floor plans and trying to recreate it, and even just inspiration from friends, because another video I have coming out pretty soon that is Sims 3 is a Cleveland duplex that I built, and it was literally inspired from a friend's photo. He's trying to rent out his space and he posted it on Facebook, and I was like, wow, that looks really cool. I grew up in a house like this and totally forgot because I've been in Florida for so long. And so I use that as inspiration to rebuild it, and I try to recreate the outside perfectly and some of the rooms inside like perfectly. I'm very particular about things like that, especially when it comes to the scale of things and things lining up perfectly. So I can get really obsessed with that, where I have to be super, super careful to use stuff as inspiration instead of trying to duplicate it. But sometimes like just duplicating it is super fun. So with that being said, I have no idea where the original photo for this house came from. Like I said, someone shared it in a group. It was not their photo. They were not claiming it was their photo. It was just something they came across on another post and liked. So if you know exactly where this came from, or if you know the source, please let me know. I would love to give credit where credit is due. Unfortunately, I had no idea where this came from. It just appeared in a news feed, and you guys know once something gets shared a bunch of times, it's kind of hard to trace it back to where originally it came from. But whoever originally created this house, like obviously in real life, because it was a picture of a real house, not a Sims house, excellent job. Beautiful. I would love to see what it actually looked like on the inside, because my imagination just goes wild trying to imagine what houses look like. And I've always loved driving around and looking at houses, always, not just for the holidays, not just when there's Christmas lights up, but just in general. I love looking at architecture. I love watching homes about design. I love watching those house hunter homes, especially those, because you get an actual tour of the inside of the home, which again, I love. That's the main reason I started playing The Sims, because I love building and decorating. I love design shows. I love house hunting shows. I love house flipping and the flea market flip, where you go to the flea market and find furniture and repurpose it. I live for that type of stuff. So to be able to recreate it in a video game is why I love it so much. It really is. I know the gameplay is awesome. Obviously, the gameplay is awesome. Making Sims is fun. But for me, the real passion comes from building and decorating. And a lot of people ask me, how did you get good? And I don't think I'm that good. Let's just be honest. I think I'm okay. But a lot of people ask, how did you get so good? Or do you have any building tips? And honestly, you can only grow and get better with time and practice. Like, that is the honest truth. You just have to keep building houses and watching other people build houses to get inspiration, and look up obviously basic tutorials to learn how to do things that you don't know how, but you'll never learn unless you do it yourself and practice yourself. So that's my biggest advice to someone who's like, wow, this is really cool, I wish I could do that. You can do that. It's not that hard. Like, honestly, it's a lot of fiddling around and moving things and trying to get it to look just right. And again, looking at other photos and videos for inspiration. So if you have a passion for doing this and you don't feel like you're good enough, first of all, you're probably a lot better than you think. Like, give yourself credit. And second of all, just do it. Just do it and keep doing it until you're happy with it. And if you're not too happy with the house, that's okay. You can move on and go to another one or change what you don't like. That is the beauty of The Sims. Nothing is set in stone. You could change anything that you want. So that's my advice to you guys that are asking, how do I build? How do I do this? How do I do that? Now, on top of that, I have been planning on doing this for a while, and for whatever reason, it always just escapes me, or I never get around to it. But I do want to do some basic tutorial videos for you guys, and they are going to be all Sims 3, unfortunately, at least at the beginning, because I am much more familiar with building in The Sims 3, and not just building, but anything. Sometimes people aren't sure about how to use the pose player, for example, which I already have a tutorial about that on my video or on my channel, which I will remember to link that in the description below, so you could check that out. I also have a mini one about how to build on a community lot, aka how to create a wedding. And yeah, that actually came from one of my Let's Plays. And again, it was just me fiddling around trying to figure things out. Of course, I use Google if I really can't figure something out. And I learned how to build on a beach in The Sims 3. And what I literally did was just took clips out of that Let's Play and turned it into a mini tutorial. So That was a really long-winded way of saying I would like to start doing more tutorials for you guys. So if you have any questions about a specific thing, please drop a comment below. I already have a bunch that I've been saving as people ask. I kind of just, put it in a little folder so that one day I can get to it. And again, it doesn't have to be about building. It could be the simplest thing, like how do I download a house from the exchange? And again, I'm referring to The Sims 3, even though we're watching The Sims 4 right now. Sorry, this is probably not the best place to do it, so I'll keep it really short. But yeah, even if it's something as simple as how do I download a house? How do I move a family in? How do I evict a family? How do I split up a household? Whatever your question is, ask, and I will make sure to try to cover that in my tutorial series. And, if that goes well and I have a lot of those videos and people are enjoying them, I'll try to do some for Sims 4 as well. But again, I'm a Sims 4 newbie. I really, really am. I know some of you have been playing with it for years since it first came out. And although I have had it for almost a year, I honestly don't play that much. I have done house tours and I have done a few builds. I think this is literally only the second speed build I've done at all in The Sims 4. Maybe a couple other builds I might have done a house tour on. And it's easier to build. The graphics are much easier to look at. Things are a little bit more intuitive, which I love. And I always said, oh, Sims 4 is only good for modern building. Well, look at this. I just created a very traditional home in The Sims 4, so I guess I was wrong about that. But of course, every couple months, new packs are coming out and things like that, which makes it obviously a lot easier. And oh my gosh, I'm so super excited for the vintage glamour stuff pack. I think it's called the glamour pack that's coming out, which from the time that I'm recording right now, it actually comes out tomorrow here in the USA. However, this video is not going to be uploaded for like maybe a week or two after recording, so the pack would have already been out by then, so this probably won't make too much sense when you're listening, but I'm very excited for that pack because, again, I love the very traditional, the very vintage, the very classic style of furniture. I do, of course, love modern as well, but for whatever reason, I gravitate towards the very traditional type furniture when I'm building. And I think it's because I like to create family homes, like really cozy, intimate family homes, which I don't know, like this is great. This reminds me of, going to grandma's house as a child and, the house would be beautifully decorated and there'd be presents under the tree, or even at your own home. We mostly went to my grandparents' house though when I was younger, so that's what most of my memories are. And I just realized I'm not really talking about the house too much, so I don't know. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you guys enjoy listening to me talk about random stuff anyway, but I did just finish the downstairs, which you saw, and now I'm moving on to the bedroom. So the downstairs had the living room as soon as you came in with a little fireplace next to the dining room, and then the kitchen, and then on the opposite side of the kitchen is the bathroom. And I ended up having to put the Christmas tree with the presents right outside of the bathroom because unfortunately I didn't leave room for it next to the couch or the fireplace, but that's okay. That's all right. It is what it is. And then, gosh, the stairs in this home were super hard to figure out because they take up most of the house. Let's be honest. They're pretty big. But I did want to keep all of the wallpaper and flooring and carpet, which I just went in and injected right there. Very holiday themed. Definitely like the dark browns, the reds, and the greens. But in this bedroom, I wanted to lighten it up just a tiny bit. So I went with more of a beige-ish neutral wall and still kept a bit of that green tone in the carpet. And of course, the holiday decorations, I had to bring them up here as well. Whoever lives in this home is very, very much into the holidays. Let's put it that way. They love decorating, which I don't do. We did a little bit when I was younger, but now that I'm grown and out of the house, I don't know. I don't decorate, but I can decorate in The Sims. So there we go. Yay! Festivities. But yeah, I put like this cute little office right there in between the staircase and that curved wall or diagonal wall. I guess they're all pretty much diagonal walls. So, and a little seating area next to the bed. It fit pretty well. You do see me go back and forth between having move objects on and move objects off. And the reason I do that is so that I don't have to worry about player testing the house, because if a chair sits where it's supposed to with move objects off, then a sim will definitely be able to sit in it. The same with the fireplace and the bed and things like that. I definitely made sure to do that. But then when it comes to just like decorating and putting gifts under the tree, obviously I use move objects for that. So now I have moved on to the third floor, which is going to be my little artist studio slash / storage area. And we have an art easel. I did move another fireplace up here because the chimney that I have coming up from the roof didn't make any sense. I ended up moving it slightly just around to one of the other walls so that the fireplace can go in front of it, so it could actually make sense, because why would you have a fireplace with no chimney or a chimney with no fireplace? I had to make it a little bit realistic there, so that's why I moved that around. And yeah, I definitely could fit the easel and some of these canvas holders and storage boxes. I really wanted it to look like an attic that someone uses for painting and things like that. And in a lot of older homes, they did use fireplaces in all of the rooms to heat up the house. So I guess it doesn't really make sense that I didn't put one in the bedroom, since I have one on the first floor and the third floor. It probably would have made more sense, but honestly, I couldn't really fit one, so let's just pretend that the house has adequate heating. Yeah. And just throwing tons of clutter up here, so much clutter, which I love that Sims 4 does have plenty of options for that. When I first started playing, I would use custom content just to get books and pillows and things, but it messed with my game and I didn't like it, and I deleted all of it and I don't use it anymore. So it's great to see all the different options in Sims 4. But yeah, here we are getting ready to come towards the end of the video. So it is time for screenshots, and this is the house that someone posted that I used for inspiration. And here's the side by side. So yeah, you can see a little bit better what I was trying to do. Obviously it's not perfect. I'm not claiming that it's perfect, but I did use it heavily for inspiration. And then I went back through the second time around when I was furnishing and added the snowman and things like that. So here are the floor plan shots. You can kind of see everything from an aerial view, and then we'll go into the more detailed shots right here. So as soon as you come in, this is the living room. Again, I wanted it to feel very homey, lots of decorations, lots of decor. I didn't really use curtains though, because I didn't want it to take away from the beautiful green wooden windows. There's our Christmas tree in front of the bathroom, and our cozy little bathroom, just one bathroom in this one bedroom home. That's all you need. And then here's a shot from the second floor staircase. Here's our little study, complete with an old school computer, and the bedroom shot. So there is the dresser so your Sims can get ready, and just stuck a little bit of clutter back there. And then here we are in the attic / artist studio. Again, lots of clutter, a good storage area, and somewhere to just come and get away and paint and have fun. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this speed build of my holiday house in The Sims 4. I have videos coming out daily, so make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss those, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and happy holidays from Simarchy. Bye!